Have you ever met a girl and you think that she's just like an angel?
You look like an angel, the way say.
But once you get to know her, the deeper you get to know her, you realize that she's nothing like how she projected to be. Have you ever been manipulated by a woman? It can be for the simplest of reasons, whether she's looking for a good time, she's looking for positive emotions, she's looking for a rebound to move on from her past relationship, or maybe she's using you for money and social status. Now, before I even start, I want to share a case study with you guys. And this was a client who approached me last year, I think 2 years ago. And this guy actually wanted to marry a girl, and he didn't have any idea about who the girl is, what the girl was looking for, what her values was. He had no idea, and he just wanted to marry a girl because he was sort of out of options, and his parents were pressurizing him to get married. And what happened over there was, one thing he realized when he was talking to the girl, he met the girl a couple of times, and this was an intuition he had that the girl is looking for money. And guys, at the end of the day, every girl is looking for a guy who's high value. Every girl is looking to improve her social situation. She wants a guy who's sort of above them in some way. And guys, there's nothing wrong in that, because a person who wants to change the situation, there's nothing wrong with that if a woman wants to be with someone. But if the sole reason she wants to be with this guy is money, then what will happen is he probably might get married to the girl, and he might be over invested. And as soon as the girl feels that, okay, it's not the same thing that I expected, I have the money, I have a good lifestyle, but it's not giving me the fulfillment that I expect it would give me, then what would she do? She would find, if money is her value, then she would find another guy who's making a lot more money. And that's probably an easy step for girls. Now, for this guy though, because he's invested so much, because he's emotionally invested, he's gonna get fucked. And that's exactly what happened with the client. He did not listen to me, and I was telling him, hey man, if your intuition says that the woman is there for money, then trust your intuition, because guys, you should always trust your intuition in dating. And in today's video, I'll be teaching you exactly how you can avoid such situations, and not only that, I'll be teaching you how exactly you can pinpoint manipulation from women when women are trying to manipulate you, which will save you from a lot of heartache, a lot of bad relationships, time investment in in women who are not compatible, or women you probably don't want to be with in the long term. Now guys, this is a little bit deeper level insight. This is not the most basic insight, how to remove approach anxiety and all of that. So do let me know in the comment section how you like this kind of content, so that we can create more of these videos. And apart from that, if you like this kind of content, hit the subscribe button so you can subscribe to the channel and you don't miss out on any video. Now the first question comes is, why would she manipulate you? Now she would manipulate you based on things she considers as value. Now a woman can consider money as value, a good time as value, a person who's family oriented as value, a person who's stable as value. And every woman would have different sort of values in the different life phases. Okay, so a woman who's 22 to 23, she might value different things. When she's 28, 29, she might value different things. All right, the same person would value different things. Now in my experience, very few women actually value a true connection. And guys, you don't have to get disheartened, you'll meet that kind of woman as well. But most of the women, because of the social media, because of the social conditioning, because of the upbringing, their value system is a little fucked up. So first, let's talk about how a woman gains enough power to manipulate you. Now it's your responsibility, because you are the one who's giving her enough power to manipulate you. And the first time it happens, you should always put an end to it. But you need to understand, how do you give her so much power so that she's in a position where she can actually manipulate you. Now, the first thing is, you become vulnerable too fast, too soon. All right, you give her all the secrets, you open up to her, and for you might feel that, okay, I'm really connecting with her on a deeper level. But the reality is, you're opening up to her, you're giving her all the secrets, you're giving her the keys to the kingdom, and you're telling her, okay, this is the kind of woman I actually want, this is the kind of woman, this is the kind of things I value, and you're being logical about this shit. All right, and once you're logical about this, the woman catches that, and she'll probably understand, okay, this is the kind of woman this guy is looking for, and then she will project to be that kind of a woman. Alright. Another thing that you might do is, you might start idealizing her. Oh, this girl has no flaws. Alright, this girl is so nice, she looks so innocent. And I've had clients who have just matched with a girl on online dating, and they're idealizing her. Wow, she's so innocent, she looks so cute. And guys, not about clients, I've been there myself. Alright, so don't do that mistake. You need to understand that every woman is different. You cannot idealize any woman. She's not an angel, she's a real human being, and she might have different flaws. And it's on you to find out what kind of flaws she has if you want to take it long term. Now, another reason how a woman gets the power to actually manipulate you is when you don't have a life. When you don't have a life going on, and you just make her the center of your universe, and she's the only person you're talking to. You leave out on your friends. And this is what happens with a lot of guys. Initially, they're a cool guy. They meet a girl, maybe out in the bar, maybe out in a social setting, maybe with their friends, and they're that cool guy. They're on top of this shit. And as soon as they meet the girl, they think, okay, I really love this girl, I'm gonna make her the center of my world. And all they do is, divert all their energies, all their attention towards that one particular person. Now that's not wrong, because guys might think, oh, actually love her. I want to do something for her. I want to cut off all the girls I'm talking to. I want to cut off all my friends. But you need to understand, if you do it for her, if you're doing it for her, you're placing her on a pedestal. And once you place her on a pedestal, it's very easy for her to manipulate you. So have things going on in your life and do not make her a priority just yet. Do not make any woman you meet a priority instantly. Alright? Take the time to get to know her, take the time to get to know her values, her beliefs, take the time to actually find out about that person before you make her your priority, before you give her so much value in your life. Now let's talk about how do you get manipulated. And I was reading a book by Osho, it's called On Being in Love. And this book, actually I hated every second I was reading this book, but I'm an open-minded guy, alright? So I read this till the end, and out of that book there's one concept which I really liked, which I could literally see with a lot of clients, I could see with my own dating life, and it was sort of projections. It was a concept about projections, like how in a relationship, a lot of times 80% of the relationships, there are 4 people in a relationship. All right, the person you're projecting to be, because that's what you think the girl would like, that's what you think the girl would be interested in, the real you, and the person the girl is projecting to be based on what frame you have shown her, what kind of woman you're interested in, and what your value system is. The girl projects to be that kind of a person. So there are 4 people in a relationship, generally in 80% of the relationship, where manipulation is going on, where people are not being their authentic self. And that is how about 80% of the relationships in the world are. Now the projection happens when you're judging a woman's past. Maybe you're judging her past, or maybe she feels inferior to you. Alright, maybe she feels she's not up to the mark and you hold a lot of value, and that's when she'll try to manipulate you. And that's when she'll try to cover up the truth. Or maybe she feels that, okay, this kind of guy likes this kind of a woman, so I should project this being this kind of a woman. Now manipulation won't last long in terms of relationships. Of course, the other person is going to find out sooner or later. So it's not really appropriate if you want to actually build something deeper with someone. So guys, keep this in mind. Instead of trying to be someone, when you actually meet a girl you're interested in, try to be your authentic self. Try to be the real you. What if she rejects you? Alright? It doesn't really matter. Even if she goes, at least you don't have to project to be someone else. Even if she goes, alright? But you need to understand, you're not bending, you're not twisting, you're not being a social chameleon just to pretend to be someone who you're not. Because even if you get in a relationship with her after that, what is going to happen is you're always going to walk on eggshells. Because you're going to try to protect this image that you've created. And guys, because of that image that you've created, you're never going to be your authentic self. You're never going to be comfortable with her. You're never going to have a good time with her. Maybe you might have some different memories, but you will never be able to be at ease with her. And that is what is required in every relationship. And same goes for the girl. So if you're judging the girl, if you're thinking, oh, she has had a bad past or whatever, or if you're showing that, okay, I'm superior to you, all right, then the girl might also play the same game. So it's very important that you don't judge her, that you're completely non-judgmental whenever you're meeting women. You don't ask them too much about their past. And also, you don't belittle her, alright? Don't belittle her, don't try to push her down, because the more you push her down, the more she'll realize, oh, this guy is extremely high value, and what I need to do to get him is I need to be this kind of a woman. So try not doing that. You need to have a collaborative mindset and a collaborative frame instead of a frame of manipulation. Now also, one thing I want to add is women do this purely subconsciously, so do not hate on them. Do not be like, oh, she's trying to be someone, she's double-faced, she's a bitch. Do not be like that, alright? Women do it almost subconsciously. This automatically happens because this is sort of a part of the nature, alright? The nature of social dynamics, I would say. Now, the second thing you want to understand is there's an old school pickup concept which is not talked about a lot, and I'm surprised because this is happening everywhere in the world today, and it's called poison dripping. Alright, now this is one video I saw a long time back when I was learning game, and I think it was 3 to 2 years in game, and I saw this and I sort of put all my past relationships on the table, and I just realized how much relevant this concept is. Alright, this is a very relevant concept, and it basically is that, if a girl sees you growing, if a girl sees you hitting the gym hard, if she sees that, okay, I'm gonna lose this guy, maybe, you're meeting your friends a lot, she's gonna try to poison drip you slowly. She's gonna be like, hey baby, why don't you just stay with me on the bed? Why don't we enjoy this Sunday eating some ice cream? Why don't we just don't hit the gym today, alright? Don't meet the guys, just spend your time with me. And the guy's like, okay, this girl is interested in me, but what is actually happening is the girl doesn't want the guy to leave her, and subconsciously she's poison dripping him to hold him back, maybe because the guy's too relentless, and she'll be like, hey, why don't you take it chill? You never take rest, you never do this. And guys, don't hate on women, alright? This is a subconscious habit because they don't want you to leave. They know if you go out with the boys, you could probably want to meet a girl, alright? They will know that if you're going out making a lot of money, you have the chances of leaving her, alright? But specifically girls who are insecure, specifically girls who have lower self-esteem. They would have more of these thoughts and more of these fears because they would just want to latch on to you at that point of time because they have low self-esteem issues, they have a negative self-identity, and because of that, if a woman is like that, she's going to latch on to you and she's going to try to pause and rip you more and more. But a person who's high self-worth, a person who has high self-esteem, she's going to be more uplifting and more collaborative instead of trying to be manipulative. Now, the last step of manipulation might be just outright lying and cheating. And this may happen because of how your relationship started with her. So for example, if you started a relationship, maybe you were a guy who's going out, who has a bunch of friends, who has a social life, who has things going on in his life, and you meet a girl, alright, and you're a complete Chad at that time, you're meeting a lot of women, and you meet this girl who's sort of special, and you're like, okay, I'm having all these one night stands, but on the side, I just want to invest everything I have, all the time and effort I have with this one woman. She's very compatible and all of that. And what happens is you go in a relationship with that girl, you stop your one night stands, and that's alright, because of course, if you're going in a relationship, you should stop that shit. Or else just do that shit and don't go in a relationship, alright? Just pick a side. Now, until and unless it's an open relationship, which a lot of Indian guys can't handle. So, moving on. Yeah, so if you're going that side, all right, if you're going into a relationship and you cut off all the parts of your life, you're like, okay, I will not go out socialize, I will not go out meet girls. Meeting girls is all right, but you don't have to hook up with them, all right, and I'll cut all my social life and I'll just focus on this one girl. Now, when that happens, what really happens is the girl figures out, oh, this guy is not the same guy I met before, all right, and her attraction shifts. Her attraction shifts to the next Chad, the next guy who's sort of killing it, the next guy who's going out, because that's what her attraction was based on. Until and unless you grow together as a person, you go through a lot of emotional traumas or emotional roller coaster ride, and you get deeper and deeper, you can get connected on a deeper and deeper level. But if you just meet a girl, you shift all your social life just for her, what is going to happen is she's going to get too much value, and she's going to be placed on a pedestal, and then it'll be a lot easier for her to manipulate you. And of course, she's also going to lie to you and she's going to cheat on you because you're not the same guy who she met. Now, to avoid manipulation, the first thing is identify manipulation as it is, alright? You need to look at the girl's characteristics, you need to look at her behaviors, you need to look at how her social behavior is, instead of just idealizing her and thinking, oh, this girl is so cute, she can never lie, she's so nice to me. Be a man on your path and purpose, because you need to be a man on your path and purpose. So if a girl is creating drama, you can cut that shit out immediately and you can just focus on your path and purpose. And when the girl notices that, oh, this guy, if he catches something fishy, it's very easy for him to leave me. Once she sees that you're willing to walk away, she's going to be more invested, and she'll also not try to manipulate you consciously. Another thing you can do is learn social skills, learn game, go out, approach women, learn about all of this, because at the end of the day, if you're in a relationship with a girl who's manipulating you and you're just there because of scarcity, because you don't want to go out, you feel complacent, you feel comfortable, you don't want to meet maybe 5 or 10 other girls just to have this kind of a deeper relationship, then what you're doing is you're promoting your scarcity-based mindset. Alright, a scarcity-based mindset is like, I let a girl manipulate me just because I want to get laid. And I've seen this over and over with guys who are in the wrong relationships, who are with the wrong woman just because they're getting laid. Because they don't have the time to go out, or they think, oh, it's going to be such a task to meet an attractive girl like that. And guys, that's a scarcity-based mindset. You're just going backward in terms of your mindset. So please, if you're doing that, stop that shit right away. Once you get manipulated, do not idealize her. Do not idealize her. Instead, try to look at her characteristics. Try to look at her social behaviors, how she's responding with her friends. Try to ask her very subtle questions about her past to see how her framing is about her past. Is she bitching about her boyfriend? Is she bitching about her best friends? Is she bitching about, a lot of people around her? Try to understand how she is socially, and you'll get a good idea whether this is the kind of girl you want to take it forward with, or if this is the kind of girl you want to drop. And this is probably a big one. Be mentally prepared to drop the woman then and there if you spot any sort of manipulation, or if you're not okay with how her social behaviors are. Because you need to understand, the more you talk to her, the more power you're giving to her to manipulate you and get you in a situation which can be out of your controls, whether it's a fake pregnancy scare. And guys, I've seen this over and over with clients, and it's not a good position to be in. I mean, you can still get out of there, but it's a very hectic, it's a very stressful situation, so you might not want to land in there. So just to repeat myself, if she's manipulating you in any way or by any means and you have the slightest hint of it, drop her then and there, because if you do not, you're affecting your mindset, you're promoting a scarcity-based mindset. Also, you're lowering your standards and you're being okay with women manipulating you. You're not creating a healthy boundary, and all of this is going to give you low self-esteem issues, and it's going to create a negative self-identity. Plus, there's going to be a lot of drama in your life which you might not enjoy. So what to do when you get manipulated? Tell her that, hey, listen, I can see through what you're trying to do. Put a boundary over there, alright, and tell her, hey, do not cross this boundary ever again. If you cross this boundary ever again, I'm going to leave you then and there. Alright? For example, if a girl is probably bitching about your friend, she's trying to manipulate you against your friends. Just tell her, hey, listen, you have no clue what my situation is with him. But what I want to tell you is that I'm not sitting here listening about my friends, alright? I'm not gonna sit here and listen to you bitch about my friends who you don't really know. And if you want to do that, just leave right now, alright? And once you set that kind of a boundary with her, next time she's gonna come and she's gonna try to poison rip you, she's gonna think 10 times about it. Hey, what if this guy just kicks me out? What if this guy just, leaves me at any point of time? Woman needs to know that you're a guy who's willing to leave at any point. Alright, they need to know that, because if they think that okay, he's always going to be available, they treat you like shit. So they need to know that you're a guy on your path and purpose, and if something does not comply with your values, you want to cut that shit out of your life. And that's what you need to do. You need to be a high value man instead of a pickup guy who's just chasing pussy. Alright, because you can do that, and that will get you some sort of success. But in the long term, you want to get off from that and you want to become a high value person. You want to have different values, different traits, different ethics that you might need in your life, which will help you form deeper and better relationships moving forward. Now, what happens once you get manipulated? You don't know what's real again. You don't know who to trust. You have a bad ending. You have trust issues. You have trouble expressing yourself to women. You have trouble opening up and, sharing your experiences with other people. And all of that just because you could not catch that manipulation. Now, that being said, for the guys who have been there, for the guys who have experienced the manipulation once, I also have this slight trick that I use in my game, which actually helps me use women's manipulation, make me aggressive, and make that aggression into assertiveness when I'm in the field. Now, let me tell you what I mean by that. And this is a concept I got by the book The Winning. If you haven't read it, read it. It's a great book, great mindset book. Now, what you need to do is you need to lay out all the relationships on the table. You need to see which one hurt you the most. All right, you need to put a hand on all those relationships, and you'll immediately know which one hurt you the most. Think about that before you go out to approach some woman. Think about that before you're going out in the field to do some approaches. Instead of having that approach anxiety, oh my god, what am I going to say? You're going to have a fearless, bulletproof mindset that, oh, I really want to approach this girl. I'm going to approach this girl no matter what. I'm going to see where it goes. Alright, so that kind of mindset is going to be promoted once you actually think about all the worst relationships that you have. And I know this is not the best way of going out to game, but it's a toxic way, definitely, but it's a way that gets you sort of results. Now, whenever I used to do this activity, I used to be like, okay, I don't want to be the same guy again. I don't want to be the same guy who got manipulated by her again. I want to learn this skill. I want to learn this craft for my own self. So I'm never in that position again. So something that's moving you forward is definitely going to help you out in terms of your game and in terms of your dating life. Now, if you're a guy who's faced manipulation in the past by a woman, or if you're a guy who doesn't want to face that kind of manipulation, who doesn't want to give it a lot of hit and trial, if you're a guy who values self-growth and development over everything else, and you want to work with us, all you need to do is schedule a call with my team. Let's see if we're a right fit to work together, and let's work on your dating life this year. And before I go, if you're someone who's been deeply affected by this, if you're someone who has been deeply hurt by a woman, maybe she cheated on you, maybe she left you for someone, maybe whatever happened, alright, maybe she was just using you and she's manipulating you, and that is giving you a lot of trouble opening up to new women, talking to new women, and expressing yourself, all you need to do is read the book Untethered Soul by Michael A. Wright. I'm not sure if I'm spelling it right, but just read that book, Untethered Soul, and that book is definitely going to help you overcome all of these negative beliefs that has been inflicted on you because of your past trauma, and it's going to help you become a changed person in terms of dating. And this is what this book did for me. So I'd strongly recommend, if you're someone who's been dealing with all of these issues, start reading that book, listen to an audiobook, whatever you might like, and I'm sure it'll be